The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Of course, the big day this past Saturday, and with any big day, surprises. We'll have a few surprises over the next half hour. First up, the 40th Pennsylvania Derby, where our first surprise actually came early in the week. The Breeders' Cup folks were here for the Grade 1 Cotillion, a win at your end, who punched their tickets to Santa Anita, and the Gallant Bob, first time as a Grade 2 sprint. We'll have that, of course, over the next 30 minutes as well. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones down on the beautiful first floor here at Parks Racing, and Mr. Pennsylvania Derby himself, Dick Girardi. Dick, the weather held up, a beautiful afternoon, and we had a magnificent day.
It was spectacular. Bet almost $9 million, third biggest handle in the history of the racetrack. Only bigger ones were in 2014 when California Chrome was here, in 2016 when we had the Derby and Preakness winners. We almost had the Derby and Preakness winners this year, but you'll get into that in a second.
Well, Dick, I mentioned are the surprises, which we'll have a number of them over the next 30 minutes. But the first surprise right here came early in the week. In fact, on Monday, when we were doing the Pennsylvania Derby draw, news came out about from the camp of Maximum Security.
Right, what happened, he came here to work that morning, and then when he got back to Monmouth Park sometime in the afternoon, there was a serious problem. They took him over to Mid-Atlantic. It turned out to be a colon issue. He colicked very badly, and they had to scratch him. It wasn't announced till the next day, and then Bruce was scrambling and trying to put, as we mentioned, I had told everybody Maximum Security couldn't lose. Well, that was the only way he could lose, not running, and he didn't. It was down to a field of 6.
Well, Dick, as you say, down to a field of 6, if the other trainers had known that Maximum Security wasn't going to go, how many more would have been in the race?
No, I think he'd probably had 8 to 10, or maybe even 12, but yeah, it was, everything changed when the scratch came.
So the new morning line ends up being Improbable as the morning line favorite, with Bob Baffert and Mike Smith looking for their 3rd consecutive Pennsylvania Derby win.
Yeah, he'll be the answer to a trivia question. Who was the favorite in the 2019 Derby and Preakness? It was Improbable in both. Didn't run very well in either. Was in the vicinity, but not good enough. Came back off a long layoff. Was big against a 4-horse field of the Sherpa.
Dick, they bet him down to 6 to 5. Now he had a terrific 2-year-old season. It was unbeaten as a 2-year-old, and as you mentioned, he went to Kentucky as the favorite. Took a little bit of a layoff. Came back in California with a prep race and ran the best race of his life.
Yeah, now he was huge, and he looks like on paper he's lone speed. His biggest issue has been gait problems. It's been an ongoing thing through his 3-year-old season. And
the second choice, number 6, Mr. Money. Mr. Money goes off here at 9 to 5 for trainer Brett Calhoun. Dick, he is coming off 4 consecutive graded victories. You go back through his past performance lines, Dick, as a 2-year-old, off his maiden win, they sent him to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He was 40-something to 1. He ran 4th.
No, he's by Golden Sense. Remember him? He won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile a couple times, ran in the Derby. This is a very talented horse, and he's jumping into Grade 1, but they thought, again, they were going to be running against Maximum Security. Now, all of a sudden, they're at a great spot. They're 6 of 6 in a race with no speed.
Dick, War of Will took some money, as expected. He was the 3rd choice at 3 to 1.
Yeah, didn't like his recent form. He really hasn't done much since the Preakness.
Spun to Run, the Smarty Jones winner, and the local horse gets 7 to 1 support.
Liked him coming into the race, thought he'd run well, and he kind of did.
Other 2 were long shots. Ready for your first surprise, or is this the second surprise? Here's the call of the Pennsylvania Derby.
And they're off, and Improbable did not get a good break. Improbable did not get a good start. So Spun to Run on the outside. War of Will to the inside. Mr. Money right with those 2. And it looks like Mr. Money, after Improbable got that poor start, will inherit the lead. And Gabriel Saez has a handful. In fact, he has 2 hands full of Mr. Money. As they go into the first turn, War of Will ease his way to the outside. That will carry Spun to Run 3 wide into the turn. Improbable has now moved up 4th. He's trying to get off the inside for Mike Smith. And then it's Math Wizard and Shanghai Superfly. Mr. Money went that first quarter in 24 and 2. And he'll lead the way to the backstretch in front 3/4 of a length. War of Will prompt in second. Another length back to a 3 wide Spun to Run. He's racing 3rd by 2.5. Improbable biding his time with 5/8 to go, just edging up just a little bit now. Improbable within 3 lengths of the lead. The 2 long shots at the back, Shanghai Superfly and Math Wizard. That's a very slow half mile. 49-3 for Math Wizard. Going to be a sprint for the last 4 furlongs now. They head to the far turn. Mr. Money in front 3/4 of a length. War of Will continues to track. Spun to Run coming up 3 wide. Improbable waiting for his cue to go. Math Wizard trying to get involved on the outside. So they round the far turn. War of Will coming up to engage Mr. Money. Spun to Run is 3 wide and in with a chance. Math Wizard trying to spring a big upset on the far outside. Improbable saving ground all the way, looking to come through on the inside. It's Mr. Money off the turn with the lead. Mr. Money in front. Spun to Run on the outside. Improbable up the inside. War of Will in between horses. Math Wizard on the far outside. What a finish in the Pennsylvania Derby. Here comes Math Wizard on the far outside. Math Wizard, Mr. Money. Math Wizard on the outside. Math Wizard, yes, sir!
Well, Dick, you mentioned the gate problems for Improbable. He actually started up problems before he went in the gate. They had trouble loading him up. Then they're all in the gate, and the first one to act up was Spun to Run. Then I thought Improbable reacted to that. And then, Dick, the gate opens, and he wasn't ready to come out, and instead of breaking on top, he was last.
Yeah, no, it changed the whole way the race was going to be run. It was really unfortunate. Mike Smith was actually looking down and to his right as the gate sprung open, and just one of those things you wish wouldn't have happened. But, yeah, it changed the race completely.
So Mr. Money ends up sort of inheriting the lead because of that. They go 49-3 for the half, which you would think would not set up for any of the late runners. But here comes Math Wizard at 31-1. And Dick, that big run that we see here so often in the middle of the racetrack, he gets up to win it and pays $64.20 to win. What a magnificent effort by this horse.
Yeah, it was an amazing story, and I've got it on Let'sGoRacingParks.com, the story of Math Wizard, and there'll be a trivia question, Keith, in a number of years. Who was the horse that finished in between Maximum Security and Math Wizard in the greatest maiden 16 of all time last December 20th at Gulfstream Park? The answer is Guerreron, by the way, who was 1 for 14 and just finished 3rd in the non-winners of 2 life. The other 2 in that race have accounted for first place finishes, in quotes, in the Kentucky Derby, the Florida Derby, the Haskell, and now the Pennsylvania Derby. Yeah, just a great, great story. John Finelli, the owner, is the general manager of Turnersville, an auto dealership over in Turnersville, New Jersey. He owns horses here with Joe Taylor. He was the one who reached in to claim this horse 3rd time in a row. He got claimed. In for 16, claimed. In for 16, maiden wins, claimed. Running back for 25, claimed. John Finelli gets him, runs him in the Wood Memorial, the Ohio Derby, all these races, and at the last minute, and they were the last horse to enter, John Finelli said to his trainer, Safi Joseph, hey, let's try the Pennsylvania Derby. They enter the horse. Maximum Security gets sick and is scratched. The favorite misses the break. And you know what else? The horse had to come running, and he did. He ran great, and he's run great. In other races, he just hasn't won. He was the deserving winner. This is not a win and you're in, but 600 grand will pay your way to Santa Anita. I think they're going to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and you know what? Given the wacky year this has been, why not?
Math Wizard, the 2019.
And by the way, the other thing I didn't mention, the jockey, Edgar Zayas, he said, you know what? I'm not coming up here to ride this horse. He might not even run. So he stayed at Gulfstream where he won 2 races. Total purses of like $45,000. Substitute jockey for the horse?
Pretty good.
Irad Ortiz Jr., who won the Eclipse Award as the best jockey in the country. And interestingly also, his brother was in the room. And he'd won, the only 2 times this horse had ever won, Jose Ortiz rode him. No, Jose, you're out. Irad, you're in. See you in a winner's circle.
Here's Danny Gibson with more with the winners.
This is Danny Gibson from the PTHA. We're with Pennsylvania Derby winning trainer Safi Joseph. Safi, Math Wizard, what an amazing day. And for John, who obviously we have here, tell us about the amazing trip.
Oh, it's amazing. I'd rather give him an amazing ride, and what a horse he is, like the heart he has. Like we put him on a tough campaign, and he's showing up. Like I don't think he's ever failed us. We probably failed him a couple times, but he's never failed us. And John is homegrown. He made a gutsy call. He made some gutsy calls, and a couple of them didn't go right, but it's worth it today. Like definitely worth it.
To see your horse cross the finish first here with your silks at your home track, tell us about the emotions.
I can't even explain it. I lost my voice, obviously, yelling for Irad. Couldn't ride a better race. It's just a dream come true, obviously, and I wanted to run here in the worst way, and the horse really wasn't feeling Good the last couple days before entering, and we weren't sure, and then we took a shot and said, let's enter the horse. Worst case scenario, we lose 2,000, see how he comes around. He starts coming around, we shipped him up, and the rest is history. I mean, he just couldn't run better.
And our thanks to Danny and Dick, of course, our congratulations to the Connections. Just the biggest win of their careers.
And to Keith Jones for his first call on national television, the Cotillion and the Pennsylvania Derby. Well done, sir.
A lot of fun up there. Thank you. Let's get to our first break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. It is the Cotillion. Pretty hot pace. Having a very hot pace. We'll be back with that after this.
Very fast quarter, 22 and 3, and Jaywalk has made the front.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner low mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stables.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. We continue with our coverage of the big day. This segment brought to you by Chapman Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. Dick, the Grade 1 Cotillion for the first time is a Breeders' Cup win, and you're in race. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's for the distaff, and obviously horses have gone on from this race to run extremely well in the distaff. Untappable won it. And the undefeated Rick Porter horse, what was it, like an inch? Songbird lost to Beholder?
Well, Dick, a lot of Grade 1 winners here in this edition,
awesome.
The 51st Cotillion. Number 8, Guarana, gets bet down to even money for trader Chad Brown with Jose Ortiz on board. Now, Dick, a tremendous victory in the Acorn. That was a one-turn mile with a great setup. Around 2 turns at the Coaching Club of American Oak, she did win, but she was not nearly as impressive.
Yeah, she was, and I'm not sure she necessarily wants to be in front. It was kind of a strangely run race, no pace. This obviously has a lot of pace. It looks like a good setup on paper for Guarana.
Dick, number 1, Serengeti Empress is 3-1. The second choice for trader Tom Amos. Irad is on board here again. And Dick, she wins with her speed, and when she does get to the front, she can be very tough to pass. 4
stakes, loose in the lead. When she doesn't get loose in the lead, she does not win.
Dick, Jaywalk through the outside, and she ended up going off here at 5-1.
And the money that came in on Jaywalk at the end was incredible. She was 10-1 at post time, and it goes off at 5. Guarana went from 3 to 5 to even money because of all the Jaywalk money. I guess they knew she was being sent to the front.
Dick, I'm loading them. At the gate, I look up and I say she's 11-1.
Right.
And then
5-1.
Across the finish line, she's 5.
That's a lot of money on a day. 9 million spent in the pool. I'm not sure who that was, but
that's a big move at the end.
It's a big play.
Dick, Bellafina 6-1. She's putting blinkers on, and we've talked about that she's had no success outside of California.
No, she won 6 in a row in California and has never won or even been close as the favorite in 3 starts outside of California.
Dick, Street Band 7-1 for that guy, Larry Jones.
Yeah, and it was interesting. My man Dave Grenning from DRF told me early in the week to just pay very close attention to Street Band.
Dick, the half mile in the Pennsylvania Derby was 49-3. This was a little faster.
Just a little.
A little. Here's the call of the Cotillion.
And they're off in the Cotillion Stakes. Great beginning for Serengeti Empress as she flashes her speed on the inside. Horologist Guarana close up. Jaywalk is forwardly placed from the outside. So into that first turn, it's Serengeti Empress with Jaywalk alongside. Guarana settles back in third. Horologist a good spot on the inside. Fourth, Bellafina has gotten good early position on the outside. Then it is farther back to Sweet Sammy D. Geltrin to the inside. We'll go to the backstretch about 8 lengths off the lead. Then it's a Fleet Destiny, Collegeville Girl. Street Band has only 1 horse beaten right now, and that's Long Shot She Makes Me Smile. Very fast quarter, 22-3, and Jaywalk has made the front. Jaywalk 3/4 of a length. Bellafina will track her on the outside. Serengeti Empress is covered up. She's third at the inside, just better than 2 lengths off the lead. Guarana in a good spot. She's fourth on the outside and is again edging up now within 2.5 after a strong half of 46-1. So it's Jaywalk. Jaywalk to the far turn, just a neck in front. Bellafina now comes up on even terms. Serengeti Empress trying to get out from in behind those two. Garana got first run on Serengeti Empress. Horologist trying to get involved now. It's Bellafina. Bellafina has taken the lead with 5/16 to go. Garana now right at her neck. Horologist is in with a chance. Serengeti Empress still trying to find some way through. They come to the top of the stretch, and it is Garana. Garana has taken the lead. Straight Band has made a big move on the far outside. They're coming down to the final furlong. Garana, here comes Straight Band on the outside, and Straight Band has come from far back to take the lead. Garana now second, but Straight Band is beginning to move away, and this will be a signature moment for Straight Band. She's 7-1, and she's got it. Straight Band wins the cotillion just over 2 at the end.
I think, as I mentioned, 49-3, the half mile for the Pennsylvania Derby. How about more than 3 seconds faster? 46-1. Jaywalk has to make the front end from that outside post. Serengeti Empress never gets the lead. And here comes Street Band, who settled back off that early pace. She's been competitive in some of these earlier races, so she's pretty good. But the setup was great. Sophie Doyle ran a great race. And here comes Street Band.
Yeah, the setup was right, but you could see on paper she was going to be the beneficiary of a hot pace. It was interesting. I thought Garana got what looked like on paper a really nice trip, but maybe she was even too close to that pace, even though she was sitting off of it, because she just didn't have any finish. But yeah, Street Band was much the best. 99 buyer, same as the Pennsylvania Derby. Terrific ride by Sophie Doyle. That's her first Grade 1 win, not Larry Jones' first Grade 1 win. He won this race with Ahmed Chatterbox. We know all about Larry, hard spawn. He's had a lot of good horses for a long time, and he's one of the good guys of the game.
Absolutely.
It was nice to see him win.
And Dick Danny Gibson had again a chance to catch up with the winners.
We're with winning jockey Sophie Doyle. Sophie, you and this filly have been just so connected. What does it feel like to be on her back and get that rush coming up to the win?
Oh, that rush down to the wire. The last 16th, it was like, come on, girl, let's do this. And just, oh, I could feel one coming up behind me, and I said, oh, come on, girlie, let's get this done, and just unbelievable. And she gives you an amazing feel, and it's so great to know a horse so well, because like you saw, I wasn't as forwardly placed as I normally would be, but I knew with the speed, it was always going to come back to me if I just trusted her and let her carry me into the race. And she did that in just such a great fashion, and she deserved this win, and so much credit to everybody in the team.
Well, congratulations. We hope everybody was watching back home. I know you talked to your mom on the phone.
Yes, my mom was on the phone. She was on FaceTime watching, and my brother, James Doyle, as well, he was watching too.
Congratulations. Enjoy this. Larry, Street Band, last to first. You very hands-on with this filly. We saw you on her in the morning, and you saw her leading in the paddock. She is so special. Tell us about her and the trip.
Well, Sophie did. She got the trip. She sat there and she waited and bided her time and found the spots. So that was really good. And the race was blessed with speed. So we getting back a little was a good thing, and sure wasn't against us. But yeah, this filly's come a long ways. I've been very proud to get to be a big part of it.
We mentioned Street Band was 7-1 at $17.40 to win. Now that race came before the Pennsylvania Derby. That's a pretty big daily double with Street Band. And
yeah, in my story that I wrote for the next day's Inquirer, I said anybody who had that, one, is a genius, and B, is like, what was it, $600 and some for the double? Yeah, I wasn't coming up with that.
No, me neither. Dick, let's take a look at the Gallant Bob now. For the first time, it was a Grade 2 race. 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs for a $300,000 purse. And number 7, King Jack, is 7-5 for trainer Jerry Hollendorfer. Won 2 sprint races to start his career. And Dick, last time out, he was in the shared belief and against Improbable, going long for the first time, finished second behind him. And I love this turn back on this horse. I think he had an excellent shot.
Yeah, and he ran well against Improbable, and I'm thinking, boy, I want to watch King Jack, see how he does. That'll give me a tout on how Improbable is going to run in the PA Derby.
Second choice, number 6, Landeskog, is 2-1. Doug O'Neill sending this one in for the West Coast as well. Put up a huge number last time out on the West Coast.
Well, one thing never changes, Keith, when the West Coast sprinters come east, just bet on them.
Yeah. King Jack, 7-5. Here's the Gallant Bob.
5/16 to go. Landeskog able to wrest the lead now from frontrunner Strong Will. King Jack, perfect striking spot on the outside. So Landeskog has the lead at the top of the stretch. Landeskog turns for home in front by 2. King Jack takes aim on the outside. The others are well behind. So Landeskog with King Jack coming on. King Jack is gaining. Landeskog trying to dig in. King Jack has his measure, though, with a 16 to go. King Jack runs by to take the lead. It's King Jack. It's King Jack. King Jack draws out to win at a length and a half.
I think it's all West Coast sprinters at the Gallant Bob. Landeskog, King Jack, and here comes King Jack on the outside. Draws off to win by a length and a half, pays $4.80 to win with Joel Rosario on board. And while the other two horses were hard to find, this one I didn't think was very hard to find. King Jack looked like he was the best.
Yeah, this looks like what we would call a moto exacta, master of the obvious.
Yeah.
And the 111 buyer here, and usually you can tell a big buyer is coming when the margin is gigantic. It was 12 lengths back to the third horse.
Dick, let's take a look at the Parks Dirt Mile, $150,000 purse. Of course, the mile distance here. Number 6, Coal Front, gets bet down to 3 to 5. Todd Fletcher, Mike Smith on board. Dick, a very talented horse, but he's lightly raced. Since winning the Gallant Bob here in 2017, he's only had 6 starts.
Yeah, there's obviously been some physical issues with Coal Front. When he's good, he's really good. Last time out at Monmouth, Keith, that was Haskell Day. Remember the day where they moved all the races back?
The heat.
Anything on the rail was no good at all that day. Coal Front was on the rail.
Second choice, number 8, Diamond King, is 2 to 1, and Jose Ortiz riding here for John Service. And I think he's been in some tough races and still looking to try to get that big time win.
Yeah, he has had so many tough beats in his career. I mean, especially remember the race out in Oklahoma, but this is a good horse. He's had a really good year, but just can't get there.
Coal Front's 3 to 5, Diamond King's 2 to 1. Here's the Dirt Mile. Diamond King coming up to the neck of Coal Front. 47-1 was the time for the half. Coal Front still a short lead. Diamond King ready to make his move as they head to the far turn. Golden Brown continues to loom in behind those two. Working harder to keep up now, Grasshoppin'. After that, it's Forewarned and Wild About Deb. They're midway on the turn. Coal Front, Diamond King, those two now on even terms. Golden Brown being asked to quicken in third. Forewarned has now moved to fourth as they come toward the top of the stretch. Coal Front on the inside. Diamond King on the outside. Diamond King comes off the turn and gets a slight lead. Coal Front fights on the inside. Coal Front coming back. Diamond King full out, and now Coal Front has the lead. Diamond King second farther back to the outside and Forewarned, but Coal Front slowly edging away. Here comes Forewarned with a late bid, but it will be Coal Front who prevails. Well, Dick, Diamond King had every chance to win it. He had the short lead briefly. But Coal Front battled back on the inside, actually was edging out at the end, won by 3/4 of a length, paid $3.40 to win. No disgrace in losing to Coal Front, but Diamond King another tough beat. Coal Front with another victory.
Yeah, Coal Front's a good horse when he's right. He was obviously right in this race. Another 99 buyer. Everything was the 99s were wild. Look, Chuck's horse is over 600,000 now, Diamond King. So he was having a good time, I think, up in the director's room where he had 75 of his closest friends. I want to know what the handle was in the director's room.
Just in that one room. Dick, let's go to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing, our jockey and trader of the week, and more from race recap from the big day. We'll be back with that after this.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
The hard-working folks
who proudly earn our living
in Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs, and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing, the jockey and trader of the week, brought to you by the great folks at Turning for Home. Log on to their website at turningforhome.org. Dick, our jockey of the week got to be Sophie Doyle with her first Grade 1 win. A tremendous ride aboard Street Band to win the cotillion. And Dick, our trainer of the week, Saffie Joseph Jr. He was actually very, very emotional in the winner's circle after that victory.
He had the line of the day. After he won, he says, I think I'm going to retire now. He's 32.
Dick, let's get to race recap. The other big races on the card. The Alphabet Soup were on the turf here at 1 mile and 1/16. Number 6, Pumpkin Rumble, 6-5 for trainer Kevin Attard. In from Canada. Dick, definitely a class edge here.
Yeah, and speaking of Canada and Woodbine, this Pumpkin Rumble is going to go roll right on by and win this thing. That's where Alphabet Soup upset the great cigar in the Breeders' Cup Classic in '96 at Woodbine.
Wins a half length, pays $4.40 to win. The Plum Pretty Pennsylvania bred fillies and bears at 1 mile and a 16th. Number 2 Imply is 1-2 for Bernie Houghton. Dick Imply never runs bad, except for today. Here comes the other Bernie Houghton horse, Trace of Grace at 7-2.
He Implies 4 for 4 this year, and as you said, never runs bad. Ran poorly today, but Bernie's other horse and a real good one in Trace of Grace, closing on a $500,000 win.
And he ran second with Trolley Ride too, so he gets 1-2-9-40 on Trace of Grace. And Dick finally the Turf Amazon. Fillies and bears on the grass at 5/8 of a mile. And Dick, Stetson Gold is 50-1 here for our man Joe Taylor. And almost holding on, but Rocky Policy at 4-1. Paco Lopez, R.B. Hess Jr. getting up to win it.
Yeah, couldn't hold off Rocky Policy. That's not only Joe Taylor, but his wife owns the horse, so that would have been a nice family connection.
$10.40 to win on Rocky Policy. And one quick stop down to Laurel, the Laurel Dash. Dick, do we have a little local action going on here?
We do indeed. We have Dubini, who's overcome a really tough year, had the colic earlier in the year. For Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable's going to win the Laurel Dash, $100,000. Second fielder for Maria Montoya. So in all parks, exacta at Laurel.
1-2 down at Laurel. Good stuff. Our congratulations to those. So Dick, eye on racing.
Yes.
A lot of Breeders' Cup preps this weekend.
Yeah, Santa Anita is opening, and everybody is holding their breath, hoping everything goes well. They've redone the track in preparation for the Breeders' Cup early November.
Up in New York, the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Our man Discreet Lover not going to be there.
No,
he's not going to defend.
He's not going to be there, but Honor Code will be there, and see if he can get involved in potentially a 3-year-old championship race if he wins it, because Maximum Security didn't run, but he actually won by having Math Wizard win the PA Derby.
News and notes. We'll wrap it up after this.
He's a winner. He's a champion. He's an icon. He's a legend. And now he's back in Pennsylvania. Smarty Jones, Kentucky Derby winner, Preakness Stakes winner, standing at Equistar in Annville, Pennsylvania. The quintessential Pennsylvania bred has returned. Smarty Jones is back home. Please call Rodney Eckenrode or visit EquistarTrainingAndBreeding.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. News and notes, our final segment brought to you by Pewter Stable and Dubini. Log on to their website at pewterstable.com. Trish Bowman with us today, Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones. And Dick, one of the awards given out during Pennsylvania Derby Day was the Take Two Award. That is the retirement program. It's, again, a second career. For the third year in a row, the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association won the award with Wise Son. Pretty great stuff. And here's Danielle Montgomery with more.
It's a great thing that Take Two has done to recognize the organizations. I think anything that you can do to raise awareness, the Thoroughbred Charities of America, NYRA, Turning for Home, we're all here for the horses. So it's just exciting. Just like the award does in the show ring to give incentives to own thoroughbreds. Publicizing this award lets people know that they can come to Turning for Home and they can get a good horse and they can take it to the show ring and win. So it's a win for everybody.
Thanks for Danielle Montgomery for joining us, and Dick, Turning for Home just continues to receive awards.
It's the best in the country, there's no question.
Dick, big day, was terrific. Winning your in. Looks like they'll be back again next year. Breeders' Cup was here. It was just outstanding.
That was a lot of fun, and this has become a national event, a major player in mid to late September, the PA Derby and the Kentucky.
Right here at Parks. Come out and enjoy the racing, 12:55 post time. See you next week on Let's Go Racing.